Welcome to Realtime, developers of bioLock, the only fingerprint authentication software which is certified by SAP. With bioLock, bulletproof security is at your fingertips. Realtime was founded in 1986 by former SAP managers. Realtime is an SAP certified software, services, and special expertise partner with a particular focus in governance, risk, and compliance. Our clients span many sectors of industry and government, including food, pharmaceuticals, chemicals, automotive, and many more. Real-time software product, bioLock, has been continuously certified by SAP since 2002. Real-Time's client list includes Fortune Global 500 corporations and names like Airbus, Bayer, Marathon Oil, Toyota. The list also includes government agencies and financial institutions that prefer to remain anonymous. In all, over 200 global clients are served by Real-Time, which is privately held, financially sound, and based in Germany near SAP's headquarters. bioLock was developed in response to the needs of certain SAP users. For executives, true Sarbanes-Oxley compliance became possible by controlling access to financial data. Other clients wanted to achieve granular control of access to data down to the transaction or field level. Some clients wanted to enforce true segregation of duties, while others focused on complying with HIPAA or other regulations. In some cases, sensitive data or intellectual property had to be protected from unauthorized access. SAP is the market leader in the ERP space and offers industry-standard security features that meet the needs of most users. However, your SAP data security can be taken to a whole new level with the addition of bioLock software. We like to call it bulletproofing. Whether we like it or not, fraud is here to stay. In fact, it's a growth industry. The greatest risk may be not from external sources, but from insider fraud, which can be difficult to detect and may originate from unsuspected first-time offenders. The Association of Certified Fraud Examiners tracks these trends and reports that approximately 5% of corporate revenues globally are lost to fraud. Realtime believes that the risk of insider fraud and unauthorized data access can be significantly mitigated with the use of biometric authentication. Since you are looking at this presentation, are you concerned about protecting your organization from insider fraud? Are your HR practices in full compliance with HIPAA? Do your executives worry about their exposure to Sarbanes-Oxley issues? Does your SAP system store sensitive financial data, secret formulas, or vulnerable intellectual property that should not be seen by unauthorized eyes? Maybe you're considering the potential impact of a security breach or incident. What would the direct financial cost be? And how would the negative publicity in traditional and social media affect your organization and your stock price? What about the cost of defending lawsuits? And would a loss of intellectual property have a significant impact? All approaches to security fall into one of three categories. The first is called what you know. For example, a password that you're supposed to have memorized. The second approach is what you have. In other words, something in your possession, such as a swipe card, a smart card, common access card. The third type, and the strongest one, is called what you are. This is a biometric credential that is simply a part of you. Passwords provide only a rudimentary form of protection. Think about the passwords you use in daily life, let's say for your ATM card. A password is something you know. Most people would agree that these are easily guessed, circumvented, and not too robust. Often they're written down in plain view on somebody's desktop or on a post-it note. Smart cards offer some extra protection because the user has to carry a device. The protection consists of something you have, but the device can be borrowed, can be stolen, or misused. Industry experts and academics agree that the highest degree of security requires biometrics. The user does not have to remember anything, nothing is ever written down, and there's no device to keep track of. A biometric identity is who you are and can't be transferred or borrowed. The question is, are you still relying only on passwords? The traditional SAP logon process relies on passwords, which can be borrowed, stolen, or misused. Many users write their passwords down, making them especially vulnerable to insider fraud. In any case, the logon password provides only perimeter protection, but no additional layers or granularity. To bulletproof your SAP data, the first step is to enhance the logon profile with a fingerprint scan. The traditional password is still entered, but then a simple message box pops up in front of the user and requests a fingerprint scan. There is no way to cancel or circumvent this step, and the user cannot be impersonated by someone else. This way you know, without a doubt, who the person was that logged on. Scanning only takes a couple of seconds, it's totally intuitive and requires no training. And various small hardware devices can be used to capture the fingerprint scan for bioLock verification. To verify a user's true identity, a single standard scanner, as shown above, is the simplest approach, but some users prefer using more than one device. For example, you could add a smart card or a common access card, which might also be used to open physical doors to your building. Potential future development could include iris scanning or other techniques as technology becomes available. Many scanning devices can be used with bioLock, which has been tested and verified with a long list of manufacturers. For example, a mouse could contain a scanner on the top or on the side. Many laptops now have swipe sensors, and keyboards are available that offer fingerprint scanning or smart card access or both. Many devices cost less than $100 and they're easily installed. How does SAP interact with bioLock? If a user is enrolled in bioLock, SAP will store a template for that user. And each time the user logs on, their biometric credentials are compared against that template, and if the credentials don't match, access will be denied. By the way, actual fingerprint images are never stored. bioLock creates an encrypted digital template from the minutiae, which are the unique defining points of a fingerprint, so your SAP user's privacy is always protected. Here's a graphical view of the 5 levels of control. For bulletproof data security, you must have these 5 levels. Level 1 is perimeter control. Level 2 is transaction control. Level 3 is field level control. And level 4 is financial limits within those fields. Level 5 is dual approval within any activity within SAP. The key is that all these operations can be controlled using fingerprint verification so that any critical activity in your SAP system is properly authorized and tracked. Here are more examples of actions that can be controlled using bioLock. Maybe you want to prevent someone from printing a list of vendors, or did you want to prevent a user from executing a certain process? In the screen example, certain fields are masked, meaning the data is made invisible so that an unauthorized user cannot view them. In this example, the user works in purchasing and is trying to select the ME21N transaction to create a purchase order. Since purchasing is considered a critical function, the bioLock message box pops up and requires the user to provide a fingerprint scan. After successful authentication, the prompt disappears and the user continues working as usual. Please note that this could have been any other transaction type, not just purchasing. Here's an example of the automatically generated audit file. Note the distinction between the SAP user column and the bioLock user column. The log file will identify suspect events, such as failed logon attempts or attempts at unauthorized actions. Events such as viewing of financial data provide a strong Sarbanes-Oxley audit trail. Any attempt to share passwords, as shown in this example, will be prevented. The close relationship between realtime and SAP ensures ongoing seamless integration of bioLock. Your existing SAP passwords and profiles are unchanged, and bioLock is compatible with all versions of SAP from 4.x onwards. Your user profiles can be customized as much or as little as your business rules and management policies require, and the speed with which you roll out bioLock is controlled only by you. This slide summarizes several success stories. In the first example, HR data was protected while ensuring HIPAA compliance. In the second example, senior management achieved controlled purchasing to prevent unauthorized use of funds. The third example, internal fraud risk was mitigated by the use of data masking and financial controls. In the fourth bullet, payroll and expense account fraud were controlled after years of abuse. And the fifth example is about a nuclear power plant which protects and controls mission-critical workflow components. To summarize a few key points, installation and configuration of bioLock can be done very rapidly with minimal IT support. Using the system is so intuitive for end users that they won't even need any training. Ongoing SAP compatibility is assured, and very quickly your organization can achieve dramatically increased SAP data security capability. The cost of installing a bioLock 100 license starter package is less than a typical single fraud incident. Please contact us if you would like more information or to arrange a demo.